I'm here today is firstly to introduce you to the sport of arm wrestling, which is going to be at the Grand Prix Expo in three and a half weeks' time. We will be doing a World Championships arm wrestling competition. Anybody can turn up and anybody can enter. But just like the Thunderdome, one man wins the whole equation, right? There's only one champion. Like a snooker tournament, a darts tournament, only one champion. So yes, is that person going to be super big or just unbelievably strong? Or both? Now at the end of the day, we've got a representative from Bedford. His name's Stephen Sower. He's 27 stone and he's ranked at the moment number 3 in Great Britain. But he's been taught by me, influenced by me, and now I reckon he's got a good chance of winning that competition. All right, he's now becoming world class, okay? So, first of all, just like any sport, you've got to understand the rules to be able to bend them, right? Just like football, the offside track, this, that, the other, right? So, first of all, arm wrestling is done on 2 sides. So I'll bring David in for this. You've got an abdominal pad. Then try and keep your body close to that abdominal pad. Because if your arm is too wide, the other person can use the speed technique to take the slack up where you haven't got it. So if you're close to the table, then they can't move as much as you're better link. Yeah? You must keep your spare hand on the hand grip. We're arm wrestling right-handed, and we have also got to go diagonally across because they worked out that if you're in line, then there was a lot more broken arms happening around the world. So they've now staggered it so you arm wrestle offset. All right, so every arm wrestling table is handed. This is a training table, so we've got both elbow pads ready, one to go one right, one left. But for today, we're just going to have a little go right-handed. Now, when you grip, just bend the wrist down. We're gripping interlock with the thumbs, making sure that the thumb knuckle, the top thumb knuckle, is showing. Now, some people they try and cover that because if you cover, you take the thumb, you take the hand. Take the hand, take the arm. So there's a lot of all fiddling about in the professional side of things, all about the top of the hand. But if you've been training hard and you've got the bottom part of your hand is your defence mainly, and the top part and the thumb is your attack. But you've got to make sure that you keep the person in your control area by pulling them down into their arm wrestle. Okay? So that there, if I keep them here, go to the far back part of the pad, and I'm leaning back, and I'm taking the height away from him, I've got a good advantage. But it don't mean that that person, even in that position, is weak, because some people train differently, and their muscles are built differently, and their hinge points where the tendons are connected are different. So everybody you arm wrestle is actually a totally different arm wrestle, every time. But it's good fun, that's what makes it fun. And the more people you arm wrestle, the more fun you have. Simple as that. So what we're doing is a regimental start now. Is left arm on the hand grip, right elbow on the base of the pad. Wrist must be straight, thumb knuckle showing, and the most important thing, shoulders square to the table before the word go. After the word go, you can move this anywhere you want. You can move your elbow anywhere, keep it on the pad. And you must keep hold of this, but you can change hand positions, you must not let go. Okay? So
you can drop.
But you can also, you are allowed, if you keep your elbow on the pad, to drop your body weight to assist your arm. So it's body weight as well. Okay? Now, there is one position which I've got to mention, the dangerous arm position. That's where you're mainly, a lot of people look away from the arm wrestle and they pull like this. Now what that does, it creates a lot of pressure on this upper arm bone, and then what happens is it literally creates a spinal fracture. Yeah, it's fixable. No, not to my knowledge has anybody ever died from that. It ain't like boxing or something, people get brain damage. But that is the possibly worst thing that could possibly happen on the arm wrestling table. But there's a referee going to be here, and they will say stop. Or if I'm wrestling you, I will say stop because you've started going into the dangerous position. I know this position off by heart. I've also invented another machine called the grappler, which has kind of eliminated the dangerous position, because you have to be turned into it to get the position. But because the grappler works in a circle, you kind of got to stay straight to it. So therefore you can't ever get your shoulder in enough to get into the dangerous position. Right, so what we're going to do is going to give you a regimental start. Going to go to the table. Proper arm wrestle, but we're going to hold back, okay? So it's there. You've got to make sure you're ready. Take the slack up. You're in the centre of the table. Wrists are straight before the word go. I haven't felt his arm for a long time. Okay, ready? Go! Okay, he's going for the drag. He's going to the top position. He's got a lot of power there. I'm holding him and I'm dragging him across. I'm going onto the bicep power, keeping control. He's opening up his whole body now. Now he's going, shoulders drop down. Now that means I can take more ground, right? What he done, he dropped his shoulder too much. His bicep come disengaged, and then you can see it. You can push it across, okay? So that, but David is not an arm wrestler. I'm the arm wrestler, right? But you can see now. Right. To win on an arm wrestling table, there's two ways. Well, there's many ways to win. You can gain 2 fouls. That's a win. If you do a foul in a losing position, say for instance like this, I'm there and David lets go in a losing position, that's a loss. You lose because you're basically trying to give up, right? Also, there is 2 ways of actually gaining a win on the arm wrestling table. That's either going to touch or anything, the wrist forward, I'm talking about even the forward, fingers, a parallel pin. Anything below that level, that's a parallel pin. So you haven't actually got to touch the hand on the hand grip, on the touch pad, okay? So there, if I bring Dave's hand here, that's still a win, because these fingers have gone below that level, okay? Are any questions at this stage?